Hello, everyone. Hope y'all are doing fine today. So for this video, I am going to be showing how to repair a Gemmy Magic Music Box from 2007. Um, as you can see, I have two of them here. These ones have a Winnie the Pooh scene in them, skating around a snowman. The one on the left is mine that I've had for a little bit and that's fully working, and the one on the right is one that plays the music and the lights light up and they skate around, but the present does not pop up, which appears to be a common problem on these items. So I'm going to demonstrate the working item and then show the problem with the non-working one, and then I will kind of explain shortly what's going to get fixed, and then show how to repair it. So we'll start by looking at the one on the left. As you see, the lid raises up. There's a skating scene inside. And then the lid would close down at the end of the song, but to help keep the video short, I'll not play the whole song. And then let's take a look at this one and see what's going on. As you can see, the lid is not opening. But if you noticed, you may have heard a loud buzzing noise as the song was starting to play. And the reason being is that sound is the motor inside turning, and and there's a lifting mechanism inside, and a motor spins around and it turns the gears. But usually what happens is there's a little tiny gear. In fact, I'll show the gear right here. It's usually a little tiny 8-tooth gear that needs to get replaced. And I'll show I'll put a picture up in the video showing how showing the dimensions of the gear and what it is. It's an 8-tooth gear, and you might see a picture showing the diameter here, but we'll open up this one, get inside the lifting mechanism, and see if we can get that gear replaced and get it working. So to do this repair, here are some tools you're going to need. You're going to need some needle nose pliers, a Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, some tweezers, some wire cutters. Now, this is a tool that may or may not be used, and I'll explain why when the box gets opened, why we may or may not need it. And this tool is also optional too, but may be required depending on what happens when we open this up. Is a soldering iron with some solder. But like I said before, hopefully we won't need those for this repair, and hopefully in this video I can demonstrate where you won't have to mess with soldering. But yeah, so I'll make a quick pause to where I can set up and show you opening the box and working on the lifting mechanism. All right, so we are back. We're going to start working on the box that's not lifting or lowering and try to fix the lifting mechanism. So there is another item that I forgot to mention, that it is optional to have, but personally I think I would recommend including it is some silicone lubricant. Now this lubricant will go on the gears, and hopefully on like the motor shafts that they're on and everything can help them not wear out and last for a while. And probably recommend getting paper towel too in case you make a mess when applying this lubricant. But now, with all that said, let's get to opening up the box. So we will flip it upside down, and the first thing I would recommend is taking out the batteries. All right, and now we will take the bottom of the box off. So to remove the bottom of the box, there are 2 screws here and 4 screws in these holes. So let's get them removed. All right, so we are ready to open up the inside of the box. Now, if this won't come loose by trying to grab it with your hands, that is where the flathead screwdriver will come in. Just be really gentle. See if you can pry it open. This is probably first time in forever this has been opened up, so it may be a little stubborn. There we go, just like that. Then we will gently try to remove this, and we are inside the box now. So the mechanism that we want to repair is this mechanism right here. This is the lifting mechanism, and we have to remove 3 screws on it to be able to remove it. And then once we remove the lifting mechanism, we can remove 4 screws on the side here to get inside and access the gearbox. So let's get our Phillips head screwdriver and see if we can get this taken off. I guess since I have the camera sitting here, maybe I should show you where the screws are, because I can't hold the camera and hold the screwdriver at the same time. There's one here, one there, and another on the bottom right there. It is held up by some tape, so you may have to remove that out of the way to get to it. Pro tip, if you use a screwdriver on this, probably get one with a magnetic tip like this, because it can help you try to keep up with screws, especially if they fall or get in tight areas. All right, and then just like that, we have the lifting mechanism removed. All right, so let me see if I can get the screw out of here, because it's caught up by some of the wires. There we go. All right, so now you may notice that that's some of these wires on this There's wires on this motor and there's wires on this switch right here. Here we go. These wires may or may not accidentally come loose while you're opening up this gearbox and replacing the gears. So that is what the soldering iron and the wire clippers are for. Now I'm hoping I won't have to do that on this mechanism. And if it does happen to you, I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials you can find on how to solder to get them repaired. But this can be a good reference for you for where the orange brown wire and where the two green wires go, if it does happen to you. So with that being said, let's open up the gearbox. We can open up the box. Now this box may be stubborn or may come easy, and it looks like for me maybe it's coming easy. Oh yeah, I probably, we should probably take this band off first that drives these two pulleys. It's pretty easy to slip off just like that. It might make life easier. So now let's see if we can get inside and see what's going on. Again, you can get a flathead screwdriver. Just make sure you are careful when trying to use it to pry this open. There we go. Easy peasy. All right. So here's inside the gearbox. Might have seen some gears fall out there, but the gear that we will be replacing is on the pulley right here. It's this little 8-tooth gear. So let's see if we can get that to slide off. And make sure the gear I have here matches to it. And it looks like it does. So I don't know if you can see in the video, but we will put this new gear on. Let me get it in the camera here. This part may be a little tricky to do. And I may have to make a pause in the video because I know you probably don't want to see 20-30 minutes of me trying to get this gear to slide on. Yeah, may have to make a jump here to when I do get these gears assembled. Hey guys, so I just wanted to show the new gear when it is put on the shaft of the pulley. So it took a little bit of convincing to go on, but it is nice and tight on there. And it feels like on these components these were actually a little bit of greasy already, and I think someone may have put some silicone grease on this already, but I also put just not too much, but barely a little more on here. I'll show putting it on the shaft of the little gear here, and then I'm gonna make another cut to when I get the whole gearbox assembled, because I'm hoping showing you the setup of the gears earlier will give you an idea of how the gears are supposed to work in here. But I did forget to mention that that all these gears need to go behind the big gear over here. So it takes a lot of maneuvering to get this gearbox to fit right once you get the gears lined up. But yeah, so let's see if we can open up the silicone here. And we won't need too much, just the tiniest little drop. Yeah, we'll make a little bit come out there. Then put it on the motor, put it on the shaft there. And then we'll do the same for the rest of the other gears once they're assembled. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of them. And I'm also going to put some on the lifting mechanism too, but that's going to be after we get the gearbox assembled together. I'm going to put it on the little lift arm right here. So, all right, we'll make another cut here. Hey guys, sorry, have something else to add here. So when assembling the gears together, I realized that some of these gears are going to have to start out behind the gear that controls the lift arm. So what I did was I took the shaft out for the second gear that comes after the gear from the pulley and put it in here. And then put that gear facing backward, and then put in the spring gear next to it, touching the smaller gear. And then another thing I did was I took the pair of tweezers and I tried to move around this spring connecting arm a little bit to make it a little easier when reassembling. So yeah, and then of course put some silicone on the shafts of the motor of the gears. So yeah, now I'll make another cut, and hopefully the next one will be when the gearbox is assembled. Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back. So yes, the gearbox is now put together, or at least the gears are lined up like they should be. I'll just barely open it here without trying to mess up my the train assemblage I got going here, but maybe you can kind of see in the light how they're going together. But now we will put the 4 screws back on and try out the lifting mechanism and see if it works. All right, so now let's put the band back on, or the little belt that drives these pulleys. Here we go. And then one way we can test this is we can turn this pulley and see if the lifting arm wants to move. And it's maybe kind of hard to see, but it's slowly going through. Of course, once we power it up, that's when we'll actually get to see it. So what I will do, I will make another cut here just to save video time and put the batteries in, and we'll test this lifting mechanism before we assemble it back together. Hey guys, have another update for you. So I was testing out the lifting mechanism, and it seems like the rubber band wasn't wanting to turn too well for some reason. So I thought I would open up the lifting mechanism, and there's 4 screws on the back to expose the gear that turns the little arm as it goes up and down. And seems like they were having trouble connecting for some reason. So I put a little bit of silicone on the gear. Of course, I have some batteries in the battery pack now, and when we hit the power button, the gear seems to be turning with the rubber band. So that's a good sign. That means that we have our all our gears in our gearbox are working. So I will reassemble this, and then we'll test the lifting mechanism again. Alrighty, hey guys, so I have another update for you. So I put the mechanical arm back together, but I believe that this rubber band that drives the pulleys may be starting to go bad. It's probably just gotten stretched out over time, so I may have to replace it. But it seems to be working right now, but it doesn't work 100% of the time. But I will show you real quick the working of this lift mechanism. So push the button up here. Yep, that's what it's supposed to do. So I will put it back together and kind of show bits and pieces of when I put things back together instead of having you watch all the screwing in. Then I'll show you the finished working product. So before you reassemble, make sure you get the arm back in the low position. You can do that by spinning the pulley right here, and spinning it until it gets back in the up position. And make sure you remove the batteries from the battery pack. And then once all the batteries are out, make sure you press the button to let the electricity go out. So next thing is to put the lifting mechanism back on the item. So you just have to put in these 3 screws, one there, there, and there, that you saw me take out earlier. And these hanging wires, with the little piece of tape I pulled off before, obviously it won't stick again. So I just use a little bit of Scotch tape to hold those on there. I mean, personally, I don't think that them hanging will get them caught on anything, but never hurts to be too safe, because when they designed this item, they put the wires that way for a reason. So, and then you put the bottom of the present back on. So you just have to get it to fit right, and then put the 4 screws in the holes and the 2 screws here in the middle. And of course we'll put the batteries in the battery pack back on, and then we'll try it out. And now the item is ready to test. And as you can see, it's having a little bit of trouble coming up because of the rubber band. So, probably going to have to replace the rubber band, but that should be easy to do because you won't have to take the lifting mechanism apart. You just have to open the bottom and replace it. As you can see, the gears are replaced and the lifting mechanism works. So I will probably do one more pause and I will take the band out, try to get a new one, and I will follow up with you when I do find one. Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back. So the item is now 100% working. So I got I replaced the rubber band on the inside. It's just an O-ring. Here's a picture of the package that I used to replace it. It's number 32 O-ring with a 15/16 inch outer diameter by a 13/16 inch inner diameter. However, when I put the band in, the item was still wanting to be a little finicky sometimes with going up. So I remembered when I was working on the lift arm that it didn't seem like it 100% fit with the gear that turned it. So I went in, opened up the lift arm, and took and moved the gear further down on the shaft, and I'll show a little rewind of when we looked at that gear when looking at this item, and made sure the screws were nice and tight on the lift arm mechanism, and now the item works. So yeah, I will give a demonstration of the item working. We'll listen to one song, and then that'll wrap it up for this video. Yes, so the item works now. So hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope this video is helpful to you and that you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and comment if you have any thoughts. Thank you.